So for the gift card holder, you should in your package have some supplies that look like this. You'll have a folded up piece of Bermuda Bay. You should have a piece of the DSP from the sweet ice cream. You will also have a strip of paper from the DSP. You should have a piece of crumb cake. You should have a piece or two of Whisper White. And you will also have this little tag from, I believe this is from Tasteful Touches Dies. So to build our gift card holder, the first thing we're going to do, I have already folded and scored these for you. I have also used the, I can't remember what this embossing folder is called. I think it's 3D Textures.
That one's Tasteful Textile, and the labels are Tasteful Labels.
There you go. Alana knows the names. So you can see the texturing on there a little bit. So what we're going to do on that piece is just put tape along the very edge. And if you have a thin tape or thin glue, I would recommend doing that so that you have more room for a gift card to slide in there. And we're just going to go from top to bottom.
And tape.
Just like that. And I'm going to use the spatula end of the Take Your Pick tool just to pull that backing off of my tape. And just fold that straight over onto the remainder of the card base. And that creates your pocket for your gift card to slide into. So from there, I recommend taking your DSP and deciding where exactly you're going to put it. This has also been edged with one of the dies. Lana, what did you say it was called? Tasteful Touches? Oh, you're muted.
Tasteful Labels for the dies.
Okay. So you'll notice it has been edged with one of those dies, and it should be slightly longer. If you look, it's overhanging at the top, and that is just so you can decide where you want it to fall in the depth of your Bermuda Bay, because these are not nested dies. We actually use the same die twice. Is my feed freezing for you guys? Oh, there. We use the same die twice, so they're not a perfect match, and you can just line them up where you need to and glue that down. And then what we're going to do is just trim off any excess here.
I might have already done that part. Sorry, guys, but if you want to trim it some more, you can still.
Apologies for doing extra work.
I did not trim it for my people in case where I lined it up wasn't the same place you wanted it lined up. So apologies to you guys.
No worries.
Very pretty paper.
I love the paper from this set. Has anybody looked through their goodie bag to see all of the beautiful papers in it?
Oh,
Not yet.
Not
But
yet.
I may have to get some of this because I do
may.
love it.
It's, yeah, it is gorgeous.
Thank you.
We're using several of the variations of it today, so you'll get a good idea of what it looks like.
Oh, good.
There's the dies, Laura.
There we go. I can just never remember what they're called. I don't know why.
Are we doing
you know
both
what,
at once, Laura?
Sorry?
Alana, I
doing
can
both?
see it.
Or are we just doing one?
You're
yeah.
doing one. Yeah. We'll do one card together in a class today, and then you'll be on your own to do the second version. There we go. Everybody see the dies that we used?
Yes.
One right here.
Yeah,
Perfect.
on the long side.
Yeah. And actually the other label, your white greeting, is done with this one.
Yes, correct.
Double use that set of dies. Good use of those, Laura.
I love that set of dies. You know how you were saying, I think it was last night, that you reach for Stitch So Sweetly more often than not?
Yeah.
I reach for this set of dies that I clearly still don't know the name of before I reach for anything else. So
That's that one and this one in combination. Stitch So Sweetly and this are my two like most used set of dies.
yeah. All right, if you have your trimmer handy, you can go and trim that excess off, but I am just going to use scissors because I have a straight edged guide to guide me, and I'm just not going to be that fussy. It'll be fine if it's not totally straight. Nobody's going to notice. So now I have a nice clean edge and my card holder is done. I just need to bling it up a little bit. Are you guys with me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the, where's my stamps? There we go. I am going to take this stamp here, which is that waffle cone texture, and I'm going to stamp it on my crumb cake scrap piece of paper. And I am going to stamp it in crumb cake. Again, if you wanted it to be darker, you could certainly use early espresso to give it a little bit more of an accent, or any other brown that you have, or Versamark if you don't want it to be such a strong color. And I'm just stamping it in the middle of my page.
Got it. I had the wrong one.
The wrong stamp?
Yeah, I had the solid piece out.
No worries.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody's got somebody's bone.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so then with this, I am going to just take that little piece of crumb cake and tuck it into my punch and just punch that out. And there is my ice cream cone. Or rather, there's my cone. I still need to make my ice cream. So what I'm going to do for my ice cream is take, I'm going to use Bermuda Bay for mine, but again, if you don't have Bermuda Bay, you can use virtually any color. I believe this is Old Olive on here with the, no, Pear Pizzazz, I think. Let me check. Of course, I can't get to the page in the catalog fast enough. It is Old Olive on the paper with the Bermuda Bay, so you're welcome to use that as an option as well. Basically, whatever your favorite flavor ice cream is, just pick a color and go with it. So there's my Bermuda Bay. I'm loading up my ink or my stamp with some ink. And it does naturally have a sort of lighter spot in the middle of the stamp, meant to just give it some dimension. So there is the ice cream. And we're just gonna punch that also out, but I'm gonna cover up my ink so I don't end up with something in it. And I'm just gonna tuck that in here into my punch. Punch that out. Get rid of the rest of that paper. And That's ready to be assembled, but I have one more thing to stamp, and that is the greeting on this little die. I have used the Treat Yourself, but you could honestly use any of these. You Melt My Heart. I don't know that Thank You will fit on there, but you could certainly use You're So Cool or Hope It's Sweet. Whatever's going to work for you in your situation. And I stamped it in Memento, but again, you can also use the Bermuda Bay. You could use the Old Olive. You could use almost any color that you want, because you do have some rainbow paper on there. So you could pull some of that in as well. So I'm just stamping my greeting. Ink out of the way. And I am now going to assemble. The first thing I am going to do is just glue my scoop of ice cream onto my cone. And I just did that by adding a little bit of liquid glue along the edge of the cone. And just putting the ice cream down on top so that it's overlapping the cone. Just like that. And from there, I put a little bit on the edge of the cone. And mounted it to the edge of my greeting. So now the bling for the top of your treat hole or your gift card holder is finished. I'm just going to put mine aside on a silicone mat because there's some glue drying on the bottom and I don't want it to stick to my paper here. To add the belly band around the card, all I did was basically center the belly band on there, and then I folded the edges around. That's why there's no score marks on here. You don't want to make it super tight because you do want to make sure it has the ability to slide on and off. So once you've found where it fits nicely, you're just going to put a little bit of tear tape or glue on the edge, and you're going to stick those together. So there's my tear tape. And I'm just overlapping those. And now I have that belly band that is going to slide on and off for me. I am also going to attach my ice cream now. And I did do that with dimensionals, which I have buried on my workspace. It's quite common around here. And because I'm just sticking that down to the belly band, you don't want to put any dimensionals up on the ice cream because the ice cream is going to be past the belly band. So you just want to put it on maybe the cone. So I'm going to put one like here, one in this, one on each end of the greeting area. And that should give me enough adhesive. Just like that. Taking the backing off of those dimensionals and sticking that where we want it on our belly band. Just trying to make it straight. And we have one more step.
That's so quick.
It's really quick and really easy. This gift card holder part takes 1/3 of a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So again, we'll post the measurements for all of the cards. For those of you who were in the breakout room this morning, we will post a file with the measurements for all of the paper for the cards that we're doing today for all 3 classes within our Facebook page, and you can go and make these, but you'll be able to get 3 of these out of 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So it's pretty good value. The last step is just to add some sprinkles to the top of our ice cream cone. I have a package. Oh, no, that is my open package here.
I'm
So
sorry.
oh,
Laura,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm a little behind here.
that's okay.
Did you use dimensionals on the ice cream cone and the sentiment, or just glued it onto the belly band?
I used dimensionals on there.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. You can let me know if I'm going too fast.
Well, no, just for me.
I'm behind a bit too, but that's okay.
Okay, I will slow down slightly then. And I will give you a moment to catch up.
It's just mostly because I'm looking for like the stuff.
Okay.
Dimensionals.
I can see everybody is still pretty busily working away. I'm going to go ahead and add the sprinkles to my ice cream, and I'm just going to take it off of the actual card to do that and put it on a silicone sheet just in case. And I just added 5 random dots of Tombow glue to mine. I think this time though, I'm just going to add 3. I kind of like the look of where those dots are. And all I did was take my take a pick tool and pull out 3 of the sprinkles from the package and stick them on.
Watch me dump this entire container of sprinkles on my rug.
Well, Wendy, then you're going to have to very diligently pick them up because you do need those for the next card.
I have no sympathy. I get none.
She's a tough coach.
Yeah, it's a tough audience.
All right. And just like that, this one is complete.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
My well, we call him our son-in-law because my daughter and him have lived together for 8 years.
Right.
He loves ice cream, and they live just a block or 2 away from a Dairy Queen. So this is going to be his birthday present. He's going to get a gift card to Dairy Queen.
Oh, that's perfect. My girlfriend's birthday is later in February, and our kids are the same age, and we have a tradition in the summer to always go to one of the little local independent ice cream stores here. So I'm hoping I can get my hands on a gift card for her. We didn't get there as much as we usually do this past summer, but maybe next summer that'll be different.
Have I told this group that my niece got me a 3-month subscription to Chaban ice cream?
I did see you post that on Facebook.
That's my son's favorite, Wendy. He loves their ice cream.
They're delicious.
I just had my January one delivered to me.
And what was it?
Well, you get 2 pints a month.
Yeah.
So I had Anna Banana, I can't say it, Anna Banana and Nutella.
Okay.
Which was really good. It's still good. And then the other one was salty caramel.
Oh, yeah.
That salty caramel is Justin's favorite.
It's called salty Carl.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
So
too.
Do you get to pick the ice cream, or do they just send like a monthly selection?
No, you get to pick.
Oh, maybe I need to ask for that for my birthday.
And I think they're fantastic because they're local.
Oh, I love their stuff. I was so disappointed that we couldn't go there and support them this summer because they weren't open. Their doors were open,
that's
right?
why That's why they had, you can get a monthly subscription, like a year-long subscription.
Right.
Or you can buy a gift one, which is what I got.
Right.
And it's kind of saved their
Their business.
store,
Yeah.
their business. They were hoping for 400 subscriptions to tide them over,
Yeah.
and they got over 1,500.
Wow. They have a lot of community support. There was a whole story about their business and the owners and
Yes.
in our local paper. So
I think it's fantastic.
And they've
They're
hired their staff back to deliver all the monthly
subscriptions.
orders. And so it comes to you like they send you an email or a text message and say, I'm on the way. And then they send you another one saying, I'm out front to make sure you're at
Nice.
home. And
Yeah.
then they deliver it to you, and then you can recycle the jars,
jars.
because they're glass jars. So
Yeah.
if you have glass jars, they'll give you a loonie each for the jars.
Oh, nice.
What's the name of that place again?
It's called, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Chai Bands. It's CHEBAN, Chai Ban. And it's on Osborne Village is the store, Osborne South.
And they sell it at Safeway and Sobeys.
Oh.
Crampton's used to carry it. They don't anymore, but Sobeys and Safeway carry it.
All the food fairs carry it.
Yeah.
Our Family Foods carry it.
CHEABAN.
CHAEBAN.
Okay, I'm putting it in the chat.
And you can change your mind. Like, I've ordered them for all my 3 months, but I can change my mind up to 24 hours before, I think.
Nice.
If there's like a new flavor that comes out.
Yeah.
So,
Fun.
yeah.
And it's 1 pint?
you get for my birthday subscription, I got 2 pints. So I was able to
2
order
pints.
2 different kinds every month.
It's about 10 or
Right,
11
one
bucks a
pint.
pint if you buy it in the store.
And
Oh, yeah.
I think for subscription, I think it's $10 for subscription. And then the man is also a master cheesemaker, and they've just started selling cheese as well.
Fun.
Oh, wow.
Selling teas, Wendy?
Cheese.
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 Ooh,
All right.
that'd be
Has
tasty.
everyone caught up on that card?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll move along to the next one. This one is super fun. Neither Alana nor I designed this. We actually cased this from another demonstrator who showed this at our on-stage conference. And it was just way too fun not to do for you guys today. So I get to show you this. I sort of thought Alana might take this and want to show it to you, but I get to show you.
So fun.
It's so fun. So any of my participants will have an envelope with all of this stuff in it. I'm not sure how Alana packaged it, but I think maybe in a Ziploc that's labeled shaker card.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of your contents should be in there. And what you should have is 2 of these clear envelopes. These are the Stampin' Up! Clear envelopes that are appropriate for mailing. You should have some ribbon. My folks will have a pre-punched waffle cone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did the same, Alana? Okay. This is just scrap paper for punching out the ice cream. And then you'll have 2 circles, a white one and a Bermuda Bay one that's scalloped. You will have a piece of DSP. So that's one side and that's the other with the sprinkles on it. You really could use either side, but we're going to use the ice cream side in the project I'm making. You will also have a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and you will have a card base in Purple Posy. And I scored mine so that they open book style. I think, Alana, did you do the same thing on yours?
I think I might have scored mine the opposite way in Tentfold.
Yeah, tenfold. Yeah.
I figured she might have done that because she likes Tenfold and I hate Tenfold. So hence the difference. Anyway, we will start. And I don't know, Alana, if you did, I know you made a sample of this, and this is how I made it. So I'll show you how I made mine, and then Alana can tell me if she did anything different. So I took my DSP and I took my envelope, and the side that has the flap, so when I fold my envelope, I'm gonna fold the flap to the back. I want my sprinkles showing on that side, and I'm going to move it down into the bottom corner.
Say that again.
I know that's hard to see. If I do it this way, maybe.
Okay, so when you want the flap glued onto that side.
You want the flap glued onto the sprinkle side
Got it.
because
Got
your
it.
good side is going to be the ice cream cones.
Right. Okay, got
We're
it.
gonna have
Okay.
some space at the bottom. Does that make sense?
You want to shove your paper as close to that bottom edge as you can. And you're going to have some space at what's going to be the top.
Okay.
So there's this flap here, okay? Is everybody following that?
Yeah.
I think so.
So you're just going to slide your DSP in there and you're going to stick it down there. And I left mine like that. I don't know, Alana, did you glue yours down? You could, I guess, put a little bit of glue on there.
I just left it tucked in there, and then what are you gonna do next?
Well, I was going to put my sprinkles in next and then fold this over.
That's what I did too.
Okay, good. Just making sure there's not a more efficient way to do this, right? So now you're going to take your box of sprinkles and you are going to very carefully, Wendy.
Oh, you
You're
know
gonna-
me well.
You're going to pour some, and I would use about a quarter to half of the sprinkles that we get. Well, maybe not half because you do need some left. So I use this package to make my sample card and to make this card and to make my samples, other samples with sprinkles on it. So it's maybe a third of the quarter to a third of the package.
On the
Whatever
ice
looks
cream
right to
cone
you in
side?
terms of shaker.
I think I probably used about a quarter of mine. Like I've still got lots left, and it still has quite a lot in there. Like the shaker, it still
Yeah.
has lots to shake in there.
On the ice cream cone side, Laura?
On the ice cream cone side, yep. And if you get some fall to the other side, I've just been manipulating them to the correct side.
These are awesome. I love these things.
This is like the easiest way to make a shaker card. I've done tons of them like this since this technique was shown to us.
Yeah. I used Scotch tape for this. Is that what you used?
I did not, I just used tear tape.
Okay.
So I've
But I have
got,
at my desk, so that's what I'm using.
yeah, well, that's what I figured most people would have, so. And you don't see it anyway. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is turn this so that we see the back side of it again. And I am going to just again, make sure that that paper is tucked right into the corner and fold this longer edge. I'm gonna make a fold with it. And then I'm going to take tear tape, which is where? There it is. I'm just going to put some tear tape along the edge of the DSP, but on top of the envelope. You follow me?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm going to tear that piece off and fold this excess envelope over so that now when I turn it to the front, it's encasing my DSP and there's no extra overhang. Everybody's got that so far?
Okay, I screwed up a little bit, but I'm not gonna see that side anyway, correct?
You are not going to see this side at all.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I screwed up and it's all good.
It's all
So
good.
Wendy, you're not alone today.
Thank you. I feel so much love.
All right, so from here, we are going to fold it over onto the other side, and I'm going to close up my sprinkles before I spill them all over the place.
Oh, good idea.
Everybody do the same. So now on this side, I'm going to take the, I don't know what this is, the seal off of the adhesive that comes on that envelope. And I'm going to fold it over so that it is again hitting the edge of my paper. And I'm trying to create as nice and tight a square as I possibly can so that from this side, it looks very pretty.
That's so cool.
I will admit,
Easiest shaker card ever.
Love it.
I've
That is
done
really cool.
my entire container of the little the gems, flowers for every season gems, the little clear ones and the little blue, they're little green ones, iridescent ones. I dumped them all on a carpet.
Now?
No, a couple weeks
Oh,
when I was taking a picture of the crocodile card, I dumped them on the floor.
oh no.
You guys don't want to dump your sprinkles.
Take it from Alana.
Yeah. I will be right back.
Okay, so from this point, now that we have our shaker portion complete, I'm gonna take that out of here. I'm going to, you're gonna wanna grab your Blackberry Bliss card or cardstock, and you are just gonna wanna, whatever your preference is for adhesive, you're gonna wanna put tape or snail or something all along the edge of this, because it's going to be taped down to that Blackberry Bliss card base or card layer, I guess, really. So we're just layering this up onto the next one.
Are we not putting the ribbon first?
Nope, the ribbon's gonna go around this layer.
Okay.
But thank you for asking, because sometimes we forget these things. Okay, so once you've got your tape on, you're just gonna glue it down to that layer. And
I think I should have put more air out of this little package, but oh well.
you should be able to squeeze a little bit of air out, Wendy, because I just did that with mine. I thought I had enough out, but I just put a little bit more force on it, and it deflated a bit more. I love playing with the shaker part of it. Like, I just can't help it. It's so fun. All right. So at this point, you can take your ribbon, and what we're gonna do is attach one side as close as possible to the edge. And my ribbon is centered. Sorry, I keep moving that card out of the way. I have centered it within the piece of cardstock. So I'm gonna do that again here. And I'm just attaching the ribbon right as close to the edge as I can. So we're not wrapping it all the way around. We're wrapping that edge there, and then we're taking the other edge and we are wrapping it just to the other side of the card back. So we are going to have loose ribbon, and that is intentional. This is one of the ways that we can be efficient with our card supplies. And the way I got this bow in there is just to take that ribbon once it's attached, move it to where I want that bow to be. So I'm going to put it about there, and I am going to take my ribbon scissors and I am going to snip the ribbon right there. So now I have two tails, and I can tie a bow in that spot. I'm going to start just by placing it with a knot, and I'm going to take a pick tool and a piece of or one glue dot, And I'm going to tuck that glue dot under that knot. And that will just help anchor that down there for me so that I can tie the bow really nicely. I'm just gonna fool around to make sure that my bow is nice and even. Oops. Well, that didn't work. Right off the front of my card. So let's try that again. All right. I think I've got it where I like it. I'm just going to trim my ends. I like my ends to be angled, but you could certainly make any kind of end to your ribbon that you want. You could have it straight. You could make it with the little nips. But that is mine there. So that part is pretty easy and straightforward to assemble for a shaker card.
Give us a minute to finish the bow here.
Absolutely.
I
I'm
think they should have
struggling
done
with
the
the
bow
bow.
for us. Having
With
to
the
tie
way
them-
we're showing you how to do the
Well-
bow, we couldn't do it for you, Janet. You had
This
to do
is-
it on your own.
This is
Janet,
this is
Janice, we
painful.
have to learn something, you know.
You do.
We have to learn.
I tried, but bows just they're not my strength. That's for darn sure.
But you need more practice than Janet, because I will tell you, when I started with this stuff many years ago, they were not my strength either.
Well, you can blame Alana for that because all I do is pass it to her and she ties them for me. So you got to tell her to quit tying them for me.
Well, yeah, Alana's enabling you, and my clients, anyone who used to come here for classes, would tell you I would tie the bow, I would show them how to tie the bow, and they would go, "Oh, great, thanks," and then I would untie it and make them do it.
It's kind of brilliant though, really. I got
And if-
spoiled.
If they needed me to show them again, I would show them again and then promptly untie it, because I'm not there when they're in their own craft room. They need to learn, right? So
It's actually a very good idea.
I
Tries to
succeeded.
ignore me, but I
Good.
pout.
Believe it.
all right. Is anyone still struggling with their bows?
Just a bit, but I'm almost done.
Okay.
I get it.
So, whoops, where's my cover? From here, everyone can take their ice cream scoop stamp and whatever color ice cream you are choosing to eat today, whatever flavor you're choosing to eat today, you are just going to stamp your scoop onto a scrap piece of paper that we have there for you. Uh-oh.
That's never a good sound.
No, my battery's dying. Hang on, I gotta plug in my camera. Okay. I think I'm back on. I don't know why it's blurry all of a sudden though. Give it a minute to adjust. Maybe. Okay, well, hopefully that'll automatically fix itself in a moment. So
Thank you
there
for the
is.
cookie, by the way. They're very tasty.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed them. I still haven't had mine.
Same, I haven't had.
That'll be my afternoon treat, I think.
Same here.
I'm gonna just try turning this camera off and turning it back on and see if that makes that video better. Not really. I wonder why it went all funky. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Alana's going to be presenting in a moment anyway, so you won't have to see my screen, but I think you can see well enough to finish this card. So I've cut my ice cream. I am going to add my, or I've stamped my ice cream. I'm going to add my sprinkles in the terracotta tile. And they're just going right on top there for that layered look. And you can make those sprinkles anything. They could be chocolate or, you know, blue for blueberry, whatever. Doesn't, there's so many flavors of ice cream and they could be anything. All right, and then from here, I am going to punch them with my punch. My punch stuck. Okay, so there's my ice cream cone. I'm going to attach it the same way I attached the one for our gift card, just by adding a little bit of glue to the top of the cone and attaching the ice cream scoop over top of that. Just like that. All right. Leave that on my silicone mat to dry. What's that? Everyone's good?
Getting there.
Okay. The next step, for those of you who are ready for it, is to stamp your greeting. And I am going to use You Melt My Heart. And I'm going to stamp it in Bermuda Bay, but you could stamp it in anything here again. And just stamp it off to the right side of that circle so that you have enough room to adhere the ice cream cone down next to it. It's going to just come up like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on my ice cream cone. Actually, nope, I'm not. I'm going to use some tear tape and glue my circle to my scallop circle first. And center that in there. All right, that's going to be centered in the scallop. And then I'm going to take some, I guess you could actually do this with glue or tear tape. I'm going to try some tear tape today because it's just less messy. And just put it down the side of my ice cream cone. And I'm going to glue that just down on the circle. It's just slightly off skew. Just like that. And then the last step is going to be to add the scallop circle. Sorry, tickle in my throat.
A good half. So,
We're gonna add that to the card front using some dimensionals. All right, so I'm putting 4 dimensionals on here. 3 on the circle and 1 on the ice cream. And then those are being mounted, or that is all being mounted to the Blackberry Bliss base.
The ice cream's not dimensioned onto this.
No, it's glued flat. So you can either use glue or you can use some kind of tear tape or snail,
Sure.
something like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay, the last step is to attach that Blackberry Bliss to your Purple Posy card base. And I did do that using dimensionals. So feel free to use dimensionals or you can attach it flat, whatever your preference is. I'm going to use some dimensionals and I'm going to use the edges of some of my my used up sheets here. I like putting dimensionals around the corners and then some in the center just to make sure that this is really well supported in, especially with the shaker addition to it, because that does add some weight to the front of the card. So I'll go around all 4 corners. And then a couple of spots in the middle. Maybe a little bit down this side too here. I feel like there's a hole there. All right, that should keep it well secured. And just gonna attach this to our card base and this card will be done. So I don't know how many of you have made shaker cards in the past with the foam strips and maybe window sheeting.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Yes. And it's
So,
staticky
they
and
weren't
everything goes
fun.
everywhere.
Is
Haven't
this
done it for a long
method better?
time.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Mine's blown, right? Like if you didn't get anything else out of today, just this, right?
I love it.
It's definitely easier. I'm not sure I like it better.
No?
No, I don't think, I think it's not tight enough for me, like the,
The envelope?
yeah, it's not.
Okay. That's fair.
But you know, I'm the type of person who likes her socks tight high up, so maybe
Yeah.
that's why I don't like having any loose stuff around it. So I think that's why. But boy, it's
I like
like
it.
so much easier.
So much easier.
And like really, that's just me. Like anyone else, anyone who gets this card is going to love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it's very different. I like it. I
For sure.
love
I
it.
actually think I'm going to make the other one, maybe say thank you and give it to my ice cream delivery guy next week.
Wendy?
Oh,
That's
that's
a
awesome.
great idea, Wendy.
Good
That's a
job,
great
Diane.
idea.
Let me spotlight you so everyone can see that.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, beautiful. Oh,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's exactly what I want to do. Thank
There you go.
Diane.
You're
Now the
welcome.
only last thing to do is to add some sprinkles around your greeting on here. So I just did that same way we did it to the ice cream in our last on the gift card holder. is just to put a few dots on, oh, that's too big. On here. My camera went out again.
We can't see you.
Yeah, my camera went out. Hang on. Ugh. Oops. All right, we're gonna do this way. Not that way.
I do like the sound of it.
It is kind of fun. Where? Oh, because I have no video here. All right.
I just have
What-
to share my shaker card nightmare.
Your shaker card
I,
nightmare?
Yeah, I like the other ones where you put like the foam tape, but I guess my foam tape had a little bit of glue on the edges. So like all my sequins and whatever, they all like bunched in one corner and
A
they all
little
got
shaker
stuck.
card.
Oh,
Oh,
then
yeah.
no.
That's happened to me before
Sprinkles.
too.
It was like for a graduation. It was such a pretty card, but by the time I gave it to her, none of the things would shake. They
We're
were all
shaking.
stuck.
Yeah.
I
That's
like
terrible.
this. Really like this.
Okay, so there is the finished version of my card. So if you haven't added sprinkles, go ahead and
Yay.
add sprinkles.
Oh, I have to add sprinkles, right?
Yeah,
Very nice.
done.
Really, really nice.
Awesome.
So cute.
And with that, I am actually going to turn this over to Alana because she's got the last card. Alana, let me know what I should spotlight for you. You're on mute though.
Okay, so let's see which one. I will be the other one that you don't see my face. So the one that says not joined, I think, is the one.
Okay, we see tasteful labels now, so
All right.
that should be the right one, right? Good.
Oh, do we need to do another bingo?
Yes, we do.
Bingo.
Absolutely do. All right, let's do that.
If you, are you able to write down and then post on the chat?
Absolutely. I just need to get to the right page for our bingo and then share my screen.
I think the Kinsman bingo hasn't been won yet.
Nope.
But
It's
someone in Winnipeg won the $60 million lottery.
Oh,
Really?
that's awesome.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't
All right.
think that's me though,
Not me.
because I would not be here.
Who is that?
I don't know who won. They haven't said yet.
Or when?
Last night.
The last night one.
I've not been buying them here because you have to buy them online.
Our co-op was, they gave them permission. If you call in ahead, you can buy them
Oh.
different.
Okay, bingo numbers. Here we go. I-27. B11.
Yay.
B9.
Yay.
B12.
No.
And last number is N37.
Nope.
All right.
What's the name of the app that you're using? Is it called Let's Play Bingo?
It is, yeah.
Because I looked and I can't find it. That's weird.
It's called Let's Play Bingo, but you won't be able to see the same screen that I'm seeing.
No?
No, like if you went on there, it would show a new screen for you.
Oh, okay.
I have to share my screen with you for you to be able to see our game, because anybody could be using that app right now.
I see.
Are you looking for it to use at another time for yourself, Lynn?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I meant.
What
I-
what colors ink do we need?
Okay, so for this card, I only used Blackberry Bliss, but if you don't have Blackberry Bliss, colors sent to you in your kit are Pool Party for this scoop here. This next scoop is Flirty Flamingo. The next one is Pear Pizzazz. And then, well, this one you won't have the ink for that because that is purple.
Oh, you're cutting out, Alana.
And that one did not
We're
work out.
cutting out,
So
Alana.
can you ask that to come here?
I didn't get what you said.
Is it any better now? I can repeat
Yep.
them.
Yes, it is.
It looks blurry though to me. Is it as well to you?
A little
No,
bit, but
A
not
little
bad.
bit.
So far, this extender is not working.
It's not even working. It's just right there.
We're just checking something here. Okay, so you guys are able to see this okay if I walk you through these?
Yep.
Okay, so okay, this is a little better. This cardstock color is Pool Party. This one is Flirty Flamingo. This one is Pear Pizzazz, though Old Olive would also go fine with this. I think Bermuda Bay would be okay as well. And then I use
Uh-oh.
Oh, Alana, your sound is going out again.
We didn't get that, Alana. You're also, I think she's frozen now.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
But
technology.
it's the sound.
What is?
Oh, I get it now. Cool.
Sound is not on here, so this isn't turn up.
Are you there still, Alana?
Yeah, can you guys hear anything?
Now
We heard some of it, but not all of it. And now we hear you much better.
Try to get the one connected again. Any better now?
We don't really see anything though.
up, there we go.
There we go.
Would it
Very
help if
blurry.
we turn our videos off?
No, I don't think so because
I just switched
It's-
it up on my earlier, but it's been plugged in all day, so.
you want to try check.
Maybe
that?
you turn off your other one where we can see you, Alana.
I
It
have to
says
be able
your-
to see what you guys are seeing.
It says that your bandwidth is low.
It is. I'm gonna just disconnect from this view and then come right back. Sometimes that helps. 1 second. And then should we just close the app and put it in here? This one's still connected. so. Yeah, but they're still not hearing me on the computer, which is a different device. The computer is the one that my voice is glitching on. This is just like another person in the thing. Hmm?
No, we have to go to.
Maybe while Alana is trying to figure out her video feed. Oh, I have no video right now for my place.
You can see your face.
You can see my face, but you can't see. Okay, well, that's okay. We can do it using my forward facing camera. I am going to.
This is such a cool card.
Can you guys hear my voice better?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Oh. So in the kit for Alana, you guys should have two, maybe that's too bright. There we go. Two of these pieces of purple posy that have been embossed.
Mhm.
You should have a piece of white that is not embossed. You should have 3 ice cream cone scoops. 3 ice cream cone scoops plus 1 cone.
Mhm.
You should have a little tag like this. Let me try to hold it up better, like that. Okay. You should have a small rectangular piece that is going to have some texture on it. Can't quite catch it on the camera, but that's what it'll be, small and textured. And then there will be this piece that has the scalloping on it, and you'll have a piece of striped Blackberry Bliss. You will have a piece of Blackberry Bliss that is folded and it's skinny. And you will have a card base that is a single sheet of Blackberry Bliss paper.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So everybody's got the pieces that they need.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just pin it for myself so I could see if it was working better.
It's working much better,
It looks
Alana.
very good right now.
Okay. Quick. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for walking them through that, Laura. Were you able to get through all of the pieces?
Yep.
Okay. I'll get my own opened up here. So just like Laura did, we'll just go through one of these right now, and then you'll have all of your pieces left over to do the second one. There's not a lot of stamping here. It's mostly just card assembly. So this one is a center flap card. See, and here again is the Stitch So Sweetly, my favorite.
Mine too, Alana.
Okay, so then from your little bag of embellishments, you can pull out one of everything except for the pearl or the opal rounds. You'll have to just keep those handy. I've embossed the scoops with the Tasteful Textile. I'm not sure if Laura said that. I was not fully paying attention while we were trying to get this going here.
I didn't share that part.
Okay, so your scoops are embossed with Tasteful Textile, and the cone is embossed with Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. So I will just keep this one right here so that you guys can see that. And then we can work on the layers here. So just a note before, in case anybody gets ahead and you're wanting to go ahead and put layers together, When we get to the point of putting this flap piece on, we're going to check it for sizing before we put the rest of the pieces on. So if you get ahead of me, just don't go ahead and add anything extra on top of your flap before I give you some instruction on that. So we're going to start with, now it looks like my kit is missing something. Do you guys have a 3x4 white piece that goes in so? No, mine's not missing it. It's hiding underneath the pattern paper.
Yes.
Alrighty. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'll show you the card first. So it's got these textured pieces. Those are also textured with the same Dainty Diamonds folder as I've done on the cone. So those are just tucked against, not right against the side, but with equal spacing on all 3 sides here. And then this whole flap layer is placed on top of that. So we're just going to go ahead first and put these 2 Purple Posy cardstock pieces onto the base. I'll move this so you can see a little bit better.
And I guess we have to just make sure that they're both the right side, right? We could use either side.
That's a good point. Yes. So you guys can decide, do you like the debossed or the embossed side? And
They're
then
both good.
when you put them on here, I feel like I want to try one with the debossed side now, Wendy. I think I'm going to go for the embossed side, but we're going to adhere them onto this 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of Blackberry Bliss with equal spacing on the 3 outside edges of both pieces. So I just used Tombow glue for that. And this piece is just 1 layer. It's not a folding layer. It's not meant to be. Just in case you're
So
wondering.
is the middle part, Alana, going to go over top of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did cut these a little bit long so that that middle portion will slightly overlap them at the middle. Sorry for those technical difficulties. You should have that so far. How's everybody with that?
Just doing it. I think I just ran out of tape.
Hate when that happens mid-project.
I got to change my cartridge. I'll be right back.
Yep. And then just to get this part ready here while we're waiting to put pieces together, you can go ahead and use your double-sided tape. I would suggest that because it's going to give you a stronger hold when this flap is kind of doing all the work of your card. So what I did was put the tear and tape across the top. That's the fold here. So at the top of the fold, we're going to go all the way across and then all the way down the sides. Often I don't use this much tape, but because we don't want this flap to come off, I'm giving it extra. I always think of my mom when I fully frame something with tape. She likes to tape her things like that, and I just love watching her do it. All right. Janet, are you back yet?
I am. Thank you.
Okay, so just frame that out with tape. And then I'm only going to pull off the top piece for now. If you pull off all 4 sides and then you're trying to get this all lined up just so, you're more likely to end up with part of it grabbing and sticking down to your card base before you're quite ready. So I'm just going to take off the top piece. And then that gives me a little bit more leeway to get this placed down just in the center, right along the top. Trying to do this without my head in the way of your view. So now that's lined up to the top. Happy with how that is. So now I can just reach in here and pull these other backings off, and then they will stick down all lined up where I want them to be. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes. I have to stand up.
I know
I
it's
do too, Wendy. I can't do it sitting down.
it's hard to not get it lined up properly with your not looking at it from straight down, a view straight down.
I always get whenever I make a card like this, I always get those side panels lopsided. They don't match. And my OCD in me, it drives me crazy.
Okay, so I had mentioned, once we get to this part, don't go forward until I give you guys a little tip. This is where that tip is coming in. So mine's actually turned out okay. I had a scrap sheet handy that I was going to ignore the crocodile on here, but you can kind of see here, the edge is nice and clean. So I don't have any overhang of this flap. If I did have a little bit of overhang there, because sometimes like you can be so precise, but you'll still get just a little bit of uneven edges once you put layers together. So if that would irritate you and you want this whole bottom piece to be flush, at this point, you could just bring in your little cutter and you could just trim it up a little bit so that it's even. I did this card, or a very similar one, for a swap, so I definitely had to trim that bottom portion off just a little bit before I assembled all of those ones and sent them off. That's the hardest part of this card, I think, is just putting that flap on and having it all lined up. All right, so now you can go ahead and you can put this patterned layer on. This is, you'll probably notice, it's from your Sweet Ice Cream DSP. This is probably my favorite one. Oh, no, it's not. There's a lot of them that are my favorites.
What if we wanted to use the other side?
You could totally use the other side. Use whichever, well, now you got me thinking I should have done the other side, Wendy. This
What are
one,
we doing that?
part of it. Okay. So you've got that there. Is everybody good to move on?
Yep.
And then you've got this subtle embossed layer. I'm a sucker for that. It's kind of hard to see it, but you've got a little bit of the texture there. That's just glued right down to the center of your Stitched So Sweetly. So you can go ahead and adhere that. Okay. So then once you've got this, you can go ahead and attach it centered on this panel with dimensionals.
So attach the embossed layer to the,
Yes, to the Stitch So Sweetly. So you'll end up with this here.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then I'm going to just get this ready, the back of this portion here, with some dimensionals. So I like to do this on this sizing, one in each corner, one in the middle. They can be half ones, whatever you guys tend to go for yourself is fine. So I've got that. I'll just peel these. My only trouble with starting to put a layer in the middle of this Stitch So Sweetly rectangle is that now I can't stop. So whenever I try to just use one of those rectangles by themselves, I feel like it's missing something. So I'm always cutting a layer to go in the center of it. So from there, how are you guys with this step so far? Are we all good?
Yep.
Okay. So that's what you'll have up till now. And then we'll build the ice cream cone. This part is so fun. So you can either use glue. I'm going to give this a try with glue. I have been using glue dots, but I'll give this a try. So you just need a really thin bead. Don't use a lot because it will seep out of there. Can you see there's just that slight amount of Tombow glue there? And then I layered the Pear Pizzazz first. I just thought that texture looked like the texture of ice cream. As soon as I got this set, that was the texture. I went for texture over stamping first. I just loved it. Okay, so I've attached the Pear Pizzazz. And then next I'll go just along the bottom of the Flirty Flamingo with just a little bit of glue there. And then you can place that down, lined up along Pear Pizzazz like that. And then the same thing with the pool party next, and attach that on top. And if you guys like a different order, don't feel like you have to do the order that I did. I thought it balanced out okay.
Oh my goodness.
Since I used wet glue, I can still manipulate this a little bit. I'm going to squash these together just a little bit more. It was a little bit tall. So if you need some time to manipulate, or if you want to manipulate yours a little bit first to make sure it fits within that rectangle, then you can do that before it dries and is going to stay where you've got them. All right, so we can go ahead now. Is this going too fast? Are you guys good?
All good.
And now you can put dimensionals on the back side of your ice cream cone. And I tried to overlap because I only put a little bit of glue on the bottom of the scoops there when I was assembling from the front. For my placement of dimensionals, I tried to overlap the two pieces some so that that was just an extra way to hold them together. And everything at least has an extra little bit of hold. That's just centered.
Oh, it's so cute.
Man, I just love the ice cream cones. They're adorable.
Very cute.
Okay, so next, I'm just going to move that. I don't want to move it too far aside because that glare off my mat. I have the same laminated mat that Janet does, and the light is reflecting off of there. Okay, so I went ahead and got my Treat Yourself ready early. So that is from your featured stamp set. It is this one. You could probably fit You're So Cool on there, but that die is not going to fit the other greetings from this stamp set. So if you don't want Treat Yourself, then you could pick something else instead of that one. I'll give you a little tip if you wanted to use Treat Yourself and turn this into a gift card holder. It's not something we're doing on this card, but you could always just adhere a piece of paper along the bottom with a really thin tape, and that could create a pocket to put a gift card in. So if you wanted to step this up later, that's an option for you. So I'm going to bring in my stamp mat and my Blackberry Bliss ink. And then I will just ink this guy up. Ruby's saying hi to everybody.
Hi, Ruby.
This isn't going to fit fully on this die. So I'm just going to bring this a little closer so you guys can see the Y and the L and the F do go off the edge. but I think that's okay. You get the point of the greeting, and it's, I don't know, maybe a little artistic, I guess. So don't feel like if yours isn't fitting, it does not fully fit. So just keep as much of it on there as you can. And I think it's okay that they go a little over the edge. Sometimes I think we're all a little over the edge.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Maybe, but Wendy, you might have to pay it forward on the ice cream subscription. You can, I wonder if you can like subscribe for a year, but then send it to somebody different every month. That would be kind of fun.
I'm not sure. I think logistically on their end, that might be a little difficult.
It would be a nightmare, I'm sure. Now, I missed a little bit in the middle of my greeting, and I do have the Blackberry Bliss marker. So I'm going to just fill in my R a little bit before I put this together. If you had the Stamparatus and you were doing this that way, that would work, but I didn't use my Stamparatus for this one. We will use it later, but that worked out okay to just fill that in. So the middle of my R is no longer empty. All right, so now the treat yourself. What I did was I put a glue dot behind this end and a half a dimensional behind this end, or a little mini dimensional, or actually about right here at the middle of it. So glue dot and then a dimensional, or half a dimensional. I just have to open up some fresh glue dots. Have you all noticed that these are now on the back of the tape?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
The glue dots are now on the backing of, so rather than being on here,
Oh,
here. And it messes with me. I will eventually get used to it, but I'm not used to it yet. I thought that it was just a fluke, but it sounds like they've actually made a change, and that's how they will be.
Oh, really? I was just going to ask you, is yours maybe a fluke? Because I have opened a brand new roll that I just got, and mine is the other way.
I would love it if mine is a fluke. Somebody last weekend said they thought it was a design change, but I would be very happy to be wrong about that. Very happy. All right, so then your linen thread that you have, just tie a bow. So for anybody who, I cannot tie the bunny ears bows. Some people can just make 2 little ears and tie them into a bow. I cannot do that. So if you tie your bow that way, please go ahead and tie your bow. I can show you guys how I tie a bow. So I just make 1 loop and then around and then push the tail through the loop. And you have way more linen thread probably than what you require, but.
So we're just making a bow, we're not putting it through the hole?
Right. Yeah, I figured I'd be friendly and not make you loop it through anything. Just tie a bow and glue dot it down.
I put mine through the hole, but it's okay.
Yours will be less likely to stick to anything that way. If you guys want to loop it through, you're welcome to do that. I just, because then you do sort of have to tack it from the back to make sure it's not so sticky.
What's the name of these very pretty dots?
What's that?
What's the name of these very pretty dots?
Those are the opal rounds, and they are from the Sand and Sea suite. But when I saw them, I didn't initially get anything from the Sand and Sea suite except for these because I wanted to use them with the ice cream stuff. So I've since purchased Sand and Sea stuff, but this is what I started with.
I think Nicole made a lot of made everyone buy that Sand and Sea.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think there was a presentation last week that didn't want me to buy this set.
Yeah. Okay. Now I think I am going to reach in behind here and stick part of a dimensional there just because the glue dot is wanting to grab the part below it. There we go. So now you can take your opal rounds, and the placement of mine, I did the large one and then the 2 small ones, but you guys can mix that up. And if you prefer to put them somewhere else, you are welcome to do that. I don't know if you guys caught during my live last weekend, I forgot to share this tip. So I hopped back on in the middle of that next hour just to share the tip that I had intended to, was that I will often, if I'm not sure where I want to put embellishments, this is still on the backing, of course, because it's in the baggie there, but I'll just leave them on the backing. I'll cut the backing off, and then I can put them on my project and slide them around without being committed yet. So if I don't quite know where I want to stick them, this is a good way to visualize without being fully committed to where they're going to go, and without tearing your project if you try to move them, because I've done that many times. Put something down and then, oh, I don't really like it there, and then pull it off and end up ripping something right in the middle of my project. So I'm going to keep them just where they are, but I just wanted to show you guys that. So they're not, you can kind of see the glare off the backing there. Then that way you can just play around, but I will just take them off and stick them there. And then there's only one step left after this.
They're beautiful.
Very nice. I love it.
Yeah, they really are.
So hopefully these are simple enough that you guys can do them again later, just watch the video or just go from memory.
Are you gonna post, like, Laura, you're gonna post the dimensions and stuff?
Yes, yeah,
Great.
these will be all included later when we post those for you guys. I think we have this one ready to go. It's just the other one.
Yes, this one is ready to go. And my other one is ready to go. Like mine is ready to go as well.
Okay.
I just have to post them. I haven't had a moment to do that.
You're busy.
Why not with 9 puppies?
Well, I didn't want to post it until after you'd seen everything either. So
I feel kind of embarrassed. I think when I have Judy, that's Renee's new puppy. Well, he's 5 months now, but she's still a puppy.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted by the end of the day. I don't know how you do it with 9.
there are 4 of us to take turns. So, and they're not by themselves, right? With the 9 of them, they do amuse each other. So
That's true. When Arthur comes, it's always easier.
yeah,
Okay.
like kids, 1 can be a handful, but 2 is sometimes easier.
I agree.
So with this last piece, you guys can line your card with on the inside with that. I just glued it straight down. And then again, if you want to just put a little pocket on the bottom there for a gift card, that's something you guys can add. You could use another piece of the DSP and just put like a 1 inch by 3 inch little strip there. Just don't tape the top of the strip, just tape the 3 sides, and then you can have a nice little pocket to match if you choose to do that. That was kind of an app.
Really nice cards.
Great cards in both classes. Fabulous.
Yeah, they have been beautiful.
Yes,
I'm
very
sorry,
nice.
I have to mute. I think I'm munching too loudly.
No, you're not.
Really good cookie.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you guys have also enjoyed everything so far. That's great. I hope that this was has so far at least been a weekend or a Saturday and Friday, those of you who joined us Friday night, that has taken maybe some of the edge off what's going on in the world right now and allowed you some social interaction.
Yes, it definitely has.
It was very nice.
That was our goal. So
And you know, it's interesting with COVID. Like, I mean, yes, I'm ready to gather, but I'm ready for a balance going forward. So I'm like, as much as I love to craft, I really enjoy, because I live in Eli, I really enjoy coming home from work and not having to leave the house again, yet still having a class to do.
right.
And not packing anything.
Yeah, and I'm not a
Yes.
techie, so it took me a while to get used to Zoom. I wouldn't want to do 100% of my classes because I like the social part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still going forward would love to continue to craft via Zoom so I'm not on the road so much.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
You too.
I was talking to a client who's not involved in today's session, but she also said that, you know, for the most part, she would be more inclined to attend a class if it was online versus in person, even though it meant that she had to purchase more supplies overall. So I thought that's very interesting feedback, and that's good for us to know. I plan eventually to have more of a balance, but it's also easier for me to do virtual. I don't know how Alana feels, but I feel like virtual is a little easier for me. So I will continue offering them for sure.
Yeah, and I don't find the evening is late. You know, like because
Yeah,
everything's done and ready and in your package, and if you've done one card, you like you say you can do the other card later. So I'm often it's 9:30 and not a 10 or 10:30 when I'm hitting the road or the highway.
right.
So
Yeah, that's a nice feature.
It's a little
I'm
fast.
in. I'm involved with the Burns of Fund of Manitoba and the National. My oldest son's a burn victim.